Hey everyone, and welcome to BIO110 for fall 2025 at Miracosta College. My name is Amanda Loftus. I'll be your instructor for the lecture portion of this course this semester. You can call me Ms. Loftus, Prof. Loftus, Ms. L, Amanda, any of those work. I wasn't able to attend your guys' Zoom meeting for lab today because I have another in-person lecture at the same time. So I figured I'd make this video just to give you guys an introduction and a feel for kind of the lecture component of this course. So I'm here on our course Canvas page. Up here at the top, we have the announcements. Stacy and I collaborate on the announcements. So for the weekly updates, you'll have both lecture and lab material on the same announcement. So you can just look in one place for all of that important information. Down here in the tabs, in the important information one, we have our syllabus and our course schedule, which I'll talk more about with you in a few minutes. Instructor contact information for both of us. Weekly student drop-in hours for both of us with links to join via Zoom, which are just office hour links. This next one is pretty important for lecture. So these are textbook chapters 1 through 3. They are scanned PDF versions of the lecture chapter. So if I click on that, it'll go ahead and open up the PDF of the textbook. This is really cool because you guys can use these while you're waiting to get your textbook. You won't fall behind in the course. Chapters 1 through 3 should actually get you through lecture exam 1. So it will get you through the first third of the course. After that, we're not allowed to provide scanned textbook resources anymore, so you will have to purchase the textbook by that point, but you have these chapters here, so you have a little bit of time to do some research, look around, find the best price on your textbook. This next one here, the STEM Center resources, this is very important for lectures specifically, so if you click on it, I already have the link pulled up. It takes you to Miracosta College's STEM Learning Center. The STEM Learning Center is a great resource for BIO110 students. They have tutors who can offer drop-in or scheduled tutoring sessions. The tutors are students who have taken BIO110 before, so they're very familiar with the course and the material. They also do test review sessions for BIO110 specifically in the week before a test occurs. So keep an eye out for that. I'll post an announcement once that gets closer. But the STEM Learning Center is an excellent resource and it's free for Miracosta students, which all of you all are since you are in this class. So definitely take advantage of this resource. You can see, you can schedule, you can make an appointment, you can go to the drop-in schedule by course, and they will typically have some tutors available on Zoom as well. So you don't necessarily have to go in person. So that's the STEM Learning Center right there. The 2025 Student Support Guide is just for all Miracosta students. And if you need any technology, like a laptop, you can fill out the student technology request form to get that. If we scroll down here, this is the Mod 1 material, and all of the lecture material will be located towards the top half of the module. So this is the week of August 18th, that's today. I post your textbook reading assignments here. You'll notice for this week, it's the same readings for the 9th edition or the 10th edition digital. That may, or that will change as we get later on in the semester. I post the pages for both so that you can get the 9th edition or the 10th edition of the textbook, whichever your preference is. For the actual lecture material, this online instruction mod 1 is where the lecture videos are. So this welcome video will be posted there as well as the mod 1 lecture video. The slides I use in my lecture, I post them in both PDF and PowerPoint format. So PDF format, if you want a smaller file size that will load faster, PDF is going to be your friend. The PowerPoint file is a lot bigger, but it will allow you to actually like edit the slides or take notes on the bottom of the slides if that's something you do in your note taking. Excuse me. And the PowerPoint version will also allow you to play embedded videos. Embedded videos will not play in the PDF version. So I post slides in both formats. Choose whichever one works for you. I also have study guides for each module or chapter that we're going through. The study guides aren't super in-depth, and that's by design. We're trying to prep you guys for future upper division bio courses where they may not even have study guides at all. So the study guides are here. You do not have to do them, but they're a resource for you if you want to use them. And then our last lecture thing for this Mod 1 week is the Mod 1 homework. So I'll go ahead and click on it. This homework assignment, like all homework assignments, is due Friday at midnight. So it'll be due Friday, August 22nd at midnight. For this assignment, all you have to do is find a biologist that interests you. That could be due to their research interests, so what they actually study. It could be due to their cultural identity. It could be due to their age. Any of those things are reasons to look into a biologist. And once you've found one that's interesting to you, I just want you to tell me a few things about them and tell me why you chose that biologist. So tell me what's interesting about them to you or how you relate to them. And you'll just type your assignment out in this homework box here and then submit it by that deadline. And then Mod 2, it's not open yet. That will unlock on Wednesday, August 20th. So that is Wednesday. So I'm going to go back up here. We're going to take a quick look at the course schedule and the syllabus. So we'll look at the course schedule first. For the lecture portion of the course, it's everything kind of in here. Lab stuff is further on the right, so all of our lecture stuff is here. For lecture, there'll be kind of 4 things you need to worry about every week. You have to do a textbook reading. You have to take a textbook reading quiz. There'll be homework assignments, and then there'll be discussion board posts. So those are 4 outside of class things, and then the actual in-class things are that you have to watch the provided lecture videos. So this class is, the lecture portion of class is completely asynchronous. So unlike your lab meeting from 12 to 1:15 on Mondays, we don't ever actually have a set meeting time. I will just be recording lecture videos and posting them for you to watch, which is really handy if you have a busy schedule or if you work full time, because you can watch those lecture videos whenever is convenient for you. You don't have to wait for a set meeting time. So you'll be expected to watch those videos every week and then do the corresponding assignments. The due dates for the reading quizzes, the homeworks, and the discussion board posts are all listed here for each module. So in week 1, we just have that homework assignment. In week 2, there's just a discussion board post. So we're kind of like easing into the assignments. And then starting in week 3, we have a reading quiz and a homework. And then week 4 is our first week with a reading quiz, a homework, and a discussion board post. So we kind of ramp it up as time goes along. You'll also notice, if you look at the purple sections, in lecture, we have 3 lecture exams. The exam window for these lecture exams are from Fridays at 12:01 a.m. to Saturdays at noon. So you'll have all day Friday and then Saturday morning, or all Friday night as well, and half of Thursday night to work on them. If those time windows don't work for you, please reach out and I can get it adjusted to get a window that does better fit in your schedule. Lecture exam 1 is scheduled for Friday, September 26th through Saturday, September 27th at noon. And it will cover all of the previous topics since the beginning of the semester. Lecture exam 2 is scheduled from Friday, November 7th at 12:01 a.m. to Saturday, November 8th at noon. And that one's just going to cover all of the content since lecture exam 1. And then finally, lecture exam 3 is scheduled from Friday, December 12th at 12:01 a.m. to Saturday, December 13th at noon. That exam is also just going to cover only the content since the previous lecture exam 2. There is no cumulative final or cumulative exam in this class. The lecture exams only cover the content since the previous exam. And then just really quickly, I want to point out some of the topics that we get to learn about. So this first week is just an introduction to the course. We talk about biology, hierarchy of biology, the themes of biology. Next week, we get to talk about evolution and natural selection, which is one of my favorite topics. I'm an ecologist, specifically a marine ecologist by degree, so I love anything about animal behavior, ecology, evolution, natural selection. So I really love this week 2 stuff. In week 3 and 4, we get into chemistry, so we kind of start from the very basics in this class and then build up our understanding. After chemistry, we'll talk about the biomolecules, so your carbohydrates, your lipids, your proteins, your nucleic acids. Then we have lecture exam 1. Then we get into more of our cell biology topics and cell metabolism. And we end this unit with a discussion of cell division. And I enjoy the cell division unit as well because we get to discuss cancer a little bit and how cell division is directly related to the disease of cancer. After that, we have lecture exam 2. And then we're in our last third of the course. This is where we get to start talking about genetics, Mendelian inheritance, molecular genetics. So if you're interested at all in inheritance or patterns of inheritance, how traits are passed from your parents to yourself, you'll probably enjoy the genetics section. We also get to do a discussion about genetic diseases, which is interesting. And then we end with some developmental biology and immunology, so looking at how our immune system functions, how it's able to fight off various viruses and bacteria. So that's an overview, a broad overview of our semester and lecture. The last thing we're going to look at is the syllabus. I'm sure you guys already took a look at this morning. I'm just going to go over the lecture portion of the syllabus. So if we scroll down here, that's me, Amanda. I'm your lecture instructor. My email is aloftus@miracosta.edu. Again, I try my best to respond promptly to emails or Canvas messages. Generally, I aim for 24 hours on the weekdays, 48 hours on the weekends. Sometimes it may be less than that. Sometimes it may be more than that, just depending on life at the moment. But I do try my best to get back to you. You can email me, or honestly, the best way to reach me is probably a Canvas message, because the Canvas message sends me an email and it sends me a notification on Canvas. So I get like 2 pings essentially about your message, but either one I should see. So our method of instruction for lecture is completely asynchronous. So we do not have any set meeting times. You just watch the lecture videos whenever it's convenient for you. And then student drop-in hours or office hours. So my office hours start next week. I don't have any this week. I have in-person office hours from 1:30 to 2:30 in OC 3608 on the Oceanside campus. And that's on Mondays, although I know that's right after you guys get out of your asynchronous lab. So I know that may not work the best for everyone in this class. I also will have virtual office hours on select Wednesdays. I'm aiming for about once a month, starting next Wednesday, August 27th, from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. And those will just be on Zoom. So I'll be on Zoom. I'll provide the link to you. You can just pop on Zoom if you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the lecture material, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. Let's scroll down more. Resources to help you succeed. Again, please feel free to attend the student drop-in hours. Also, the STEM Center, like I already mentioned, they are a great resource for BIO110 students. And once they post their exam review schedule for the lecture exams, I will post an announcement with the link to that schedule so that you have access to it. Time commitment for lecture. Expect to spend about 3-ish hours actually watching the lecture videos per week. Some weeks, like this week, will be less. Some weeks may be a little bit more, but it shouldn't go over that too much. And then expect to spend about the same amount of time completing your lecture reading, the reading quizzes, the homeworks, and the discussion boards. So about 6 hours per week total for watching the lectures, completing the lecture activities, and then it's the same time amount for lab, which Stacy probably talked about. Class etiquette, just maintain professional standards of conduct. Even though we're in an online environment, please be courteous to your fellow students and to your instructors. Academic conduct is what I'm going to spend a little bit of time on, especially since this is a fully online course. So we fully believe and support MiraCosta's belief that academic honesty is a cornerstone of the educational community, and we do enforce academic integrity violations. So that would include copying another student's work and submitting it as your own, copying and pasting work from the internet without properly citing it, and the use of generative AI programs like ChatGPT or Google Gemini is also encapsulated within that definition of an academic integrity violation. So in this class, critical thinking is a key skill that we want you to come away with, and that is my job as a lecture instructor, is to build your critical thinking skills. If you just rely on AI to generate answers for you, you are not building any critical thinking. So I strongly, strongly encourage you to use your own critical thinking. On homework assignments, I will not mark you wrong I will not take points away if you get an answer wrong. I just want to see that you're thinking through the question. So even if your thinking gets you to the wrong conclusion, you won't necessarily lose points for the homework assignment. I just want to see that you're using your critical thinking skills. And with that being said, I do run homework assignments and exams through originality detection tools, which are AI detection tools. So just be aware of that, and please be submitting your own work, not AI's work. And then accommodations, if you have any for lecture, please make sure to email them to me so that I can get those applied or anything that we need to do there. Our course description and performance objectives, not going to spend too much time on those. You guys can read through them. This is our required textbook, so Campbell Biology Concepts and Connections, 10th edition. You probably saw that I have the page numbers posted for both the 9th and the 10th edition, so you can get the 9th edition if you want. It will probably be a little cheaper. I would shop around a little bit. The bookstore doesn't always have the best prices for this textbook, so if you're willing to look, you may be able to find this book for a little bit cheaper of a price. Important dates, just make sure to be aware of those. Grading policies, so in lecture we have those 3 lecture exams worth 100 points each. We have 12 homework assignments worth 10 points each, 10 of those reading quizzes worth 5 points each, and then 10 discussion boards worth 3 points each for a total of 500 points. And if we go down here, these are just descriptions of each of the assignments. So homeworks you'll do on Canvas. That Find a Biologist one is your first homework. Homework assignments can be submitted late within 48 hours of the original due date. The first time you submit a late one within that 48-hour window, you'll get full credit. Any late homeworks after that will only receive 50% credit. Again, if they're submitted within that 48-hour or 2-day window. Reading quizzes, on the other hand, they're just multiple choice quizzes covering the textbook reading. They are not allowed to be submitted late. However, I do drop your lowest reading quiz score at the end of the semester to account for if you forgot a reading quiz, if something came up, a life emergency, any of those things. So reading quizzes, your lowest will be dropped at the end of the semester, even though you can't submit them late. And then discussion boards as well. The purpose of the discussion boards in the online class is to really get you guys interacting with other students. And so I split you guys up into groups with about 7 to 8 students per group for those discussion boards, and you'll post within that discussion group. Discussion boards as well are not able to be submitted late, but I do drop your lowest score at the end of the semester. So if you miss one, if you're out of town, it won't count against you because I do drop that lowest score. And then scroll down. This is just a little bit more information on the lecture exams. There'll be a combo of multiple choice, fill in the blank, multiple drop down, multiple answer, and several short answer or write out questions. And then this lecture and lab makeup exam policy, this I just want to touch on because it does encompass both the lecture and lab exams. So you're allowed 1 makeup exam per semester, and that encompasses both lecture and lab. So let's say you miss lecture exam 1, you need me to reschedule it for you. I'm happy to do that. But once you've done that, that's your makeup exam for the semester. So you do not have any more makeup exams available. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The 2 lab exams and the all 3 lecture exams are lumped together for that makeup policy. So you get 1 makeup total, and there's 5 exams that you could possibly use it on. And then tips for success from previous online BIO110 students: keep up with the material, make time to focus on biology daily, get help early, don't wait until after the first exam, complete all the assignments, and take advantage of help from me for lecture, Stacy for lab. We're here to help you succeed. And then just some campus resources and student support hub info that you may find helpful. So that's kind of it for our lecture exam intro video. I kept it to 20 minutes, so not too long. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email me your questions, or you can come to my first virtual drop-in hour next Wednesday, August 27th from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. And I'll have the link posted under this weekly student drop-in hours with links to join via Zoom. I hope you guys had a good first day of your fall semester, and I'm looking forward to working through this course with you guys.